But the way he said he made you in that story, if there's an entire book, it could be terrible.
Look, I would expect nothing less. I was mean to him on the steps of the Met. I badmouthed him repeatedly to his dream girl. I tried to undermine him as W. I'm sure he's brutal. He may be calling this a novel, but I know just how little imagination he really has. It's a memoir masquerading as fiction, like a reverse James Fry.
You're the star of Dan's book.
As I said, it's pure fiction. Dan Humphrey, what are you talking about?
The reason you take to bed. Shame from emotional affair with a lowly boy.
It's lonely boy, and it wasn't an affair, just a kiss.
Humphrey more Labrador than Toad.
Who cares what beast Dan Humphrey is?
Dan Humphrey? He wouldn't do that.
Lucien probably made him a very good offer.
It is saying a lot that I have to kiss Dan Humphrey just to protect you.
You're going to kiss him?
Don't worry, he's just a friend. I'll go up first.
Blair, did you know he was coming?
I'm sorry. I stopped listening as soon as I heard the word Dan. Excuse me. I guess I was in denial. I didn't want to admit that I'd begun to understand the Humphrey appeal.
The only appeal Dan ever had to you was that he was mine.
You would see it that way. Because it's always about you, isn't it? I'm sorry to break it to you, but Dan and I have a real connection. We did things like visit the Dia and debate Chabrol versus Romer, things that we could never do with you. I just stood up in front of everyone who matters in New York society and said I was dating Dan Humphrey. I committed social suicide for you. I assumed it was payback for Dan, but maybe you were defending Chuck too. And with all your Dan issues, it's obvious you think your romantic fate was seals in the 11th grade, but I'm growing up. I wanted something different.
Oh, wasn't Humphrey becoming quite the drama queen?
Isn't that usually your role?
Dan gathered us all together because he wrote some novel about everyone and he wanted to make sure we knew about it first. Oh my God. I'm gonna kill Dan Humphrey. Not one word. Have you seen Dan?
No, have you?
Did you see what he wrote about me? I've been going to church every day. Dan's been going with me, trying to figure out a way through this. Never. If it means keeping Chuck safe, then I'll endure the public humiliation of allegedly stooping Humphrey. Hey, thanks for covering for me. I know you're not keen on a Dan deja vu.
Well, it's a sacrifice that I can handle. It's yours that I'm worried about, though.
I can't wait for you to hear them on Saturday. And you don't have to keep up the charade with Humphrey for me any longer. Louie and I are in a good place now. You tell me. I saw you with Humphrey this morning. Saw that fake connection sparked a real one.
Not exactly.
The way I see it, I am mad at you for sending out that video of me and Chuck to Gossip Girl, and you are mad at me for running off with Dan, so they cancel each other out.
And what that mean exactly?
It means that I will do everything in my power to get Dan and Serena back together. But you're wrong. Do you know what Dan said to me this morning? Same thing you did. His last good Valentine's Day was in high school with you. I'm telling you, there's still a glimmer of hope there. So, Dan is looking for you.
Blair, that's not funny.
I told you that I'm sorry. I don't know what came over me. I'm not sure it even was me. Because why would I ever kiss Humphrey?
Oh, so that's your excuse, multiple personality disorder? Or did an alien take over your body?
And I haven't seen Dan since Valentine's Day.
Which proves my point. Whenever you have feelings for someone that you can't deal with, you avoid them.
I am not avoiding him. I have to go gather up Dan's DVDs, and you wait here and tell Esty when she arrives that I'm with Dan, my friend, who I'm not avoiding because he's just my friend.
Who came, even though you treated him so terribly?
Dan came to that?
See, Dylan's always here for you, even when you don't even know it. No matter how you treat him, he cares about you. Not in spite of who you are, but because of it.
Dan loves me for me.
Yes, Dylan does.
Oh my gosh. I've got to go right now.
You know what? That's not your line.
No, Blair, have to go. So, it seems you were right. I do have feelings for Dan. I'm sorry.
You don't have to be.
Stop trying to hurt Dan. If you want to be mad at anybody, be mad at me. Dan has done nothing to you but be a friend. I don't know. But whatever happens, don't punish Dan for my confusion. I need some time to figure some things out. Please post ASAP, Dan. It's not that simple.
Yes, it is. And now that we know the truth, there is nothing in our way.
Humphrey's not the reason we're not together. And neither is the dowry.
Is this